Alright, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about some Prime Battle LRs, because, look, just gonna be honest, most of them, not really worth your time, as most of you have probably seen. 777 medals to awaken these units into LRs is quite a lot, so it is gonna take a lot of grinding, a lot of time, especially for some of these Prime Battle LR events that don't have, like, an effect boost. They're a special category where you can get some extra rewards. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of runs in the event to actually get the medals to awaken them into an LR. So I wanted to kind of let you guys know which ones are fodder, which ones are kind of worth your time, so you don't just spend a full day grinding all these Prime Battle LRs and then you don't even use half of them. Now, of course, it's a collector's game. If you want to grind them all just for the sake of having them in your box, completely understandable, but for some of you who just don't have that time, I figured I could give you a couple pointers for some of the LRs, or the Prime Battle LRs, that you should be grinding over the ones that just kind of suck. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, we have Physical Boo and Bobbity. They literally just got their EZA, so yeah, they're pretty good. I'm pretty sure they got dodge built into their kit. They get a lot of stats on Super. They're on some pretty weak Extreme class teams as well. Not that many, but Inhuman Deeds, Worldwide Chaos, Terrifying Conquerors, all are pretty weak Extreme class teams. I mean, Worldwide Chaos is pretty good. Terrifying Conquerors isn't bad either, but like Inhuman Deeds, I'm going to be honest, it's not really that great of a category. You got some solid options on here, but I mean, look at these leads. You can't even run a 200% team. So, I mean, the buffs for it are definitely welcomed. And especially being a free-to-play unit, everyone has access to him. I think it's worth grinding this guy up. Just keep in mind, you also have to EZA him, because before his EZA, not really that good at all. But once you get him EZA'd, like I said, you get this high chance to dodge just for free. It's a high chance to take no damage whatsoever. You also get some stats on Super from his passive, and some stats on Super from his actual Super attack effects, which this guy is physical, so he's got the base 5 additional. So just with that alone, you've got technically built-in additionals, but because he's free to play, you can rainbow him right off the get. You can give this guy a little bit of additionals, a little bit of dodge, so he's going to be doing multiple supers, ramping up that defense, and also dodging most of the attacks that's headed his way. So a good unit. I would recommend grinding this guy up, or getting him awakened into an LR and then EZAing him. And then next up, we got the STR Gohan. Okay, it really depends, because you've got, where is it? This right here. I mean, 58% damage reduction, I'm going to be honest if I say so myself. I mean, that's pretty insane, right? That's pretty much guaranteed double digits from most of the normals in the game, and relatively low damage from a lot of the supers in these difficult events. But without that, I don't know. I'm not going to say he's bad or useless, but he's going to be struggling just a little. He does get some stats on Super. Of course, that's really good. Or specifically his 18 key. His 12 key, he's not getting any attack or defense, so any additionals aren't going to benefit him, you know, defensively or anything like that. It's just his 18 key. I mean, he's got some restrictions, so when there's a Goku on the team, not that that's that difficult, though, because this guy's on, you know, Goku family. You could run some other Kid Gokus with him on Youth. Exploding Rage has multiple Gokus. Sand Saga has a lot of Gokus on there. Bond of Parent Child has a lot of Gokus. Same with the Earthbred Fighters. So that's not going to be difficult to get, but it is another hoop you have to go through just for this guy to be at his max potential. More buffs when there's a Goku in the same turn. Pretty much the same thing I said with this. It's not that difficult to get, but it's just something you're going to want to keep in mind. He gets some stats on Super, so this is nice alongside the 30% the stats he gets on his 18 key, but that just makes him more of a slot 2 and 3 unit. For slot 1, especially without this damage reduction right here, yeah, he's just not really going to be that great. He gets some stats on 18 key, that's good. More stats on Super, so yeah, definitely slot 2 and 3 unit. He gets some extra key when HP is 58% or less, and then, you know, the damage reduction when HP is 58% or less. That's the main things with this guy. Again, I would say without that damage reduction defensively, he's not going to be that great, but type advantage, he can still put in some work. Overall, no, I don't think this guy is worth grinding 777 medals. Now, keep in mind, one thing I want to point out with these Prime Battle LRs, you can see they have pretty decent leader skills. So if you really need a good Majin Buu Saga lead, let's say you just started the game, Golden Week just happened, you know, you got a good Majin Buu Saga team going on minus a good lead, you know, maybe grinding this guy up just for that sake would be good. He's also a good unit, though, so it's a little different with him. But then for, like, this Gohan, if you really need a good Exploding Rage lead, yeah, I guess you should grind him up. Mainly because you need a good lead for this category, and also, as a unit, he's pretty good. It mainly depends on what events you're taking on. If you're doing Infinite History, if you're doing Boss Rush, you know, events like that, yeah, he's going to be fine. But now if we're starting to talk about red zones, you know, burst modes, I don't know, just some of these difficult events, right? He's going to struggle heavily. I'd say the only time you could really get away with bringing him in there is if he has type advantage, but other than that, wouldn't really recommend taking this guy in difficult content. But yeah, overall, I would say don't grind him up. If you already have a good Exploding Rage lead, there's really no point, right? And then next up, we've got the Physical Krillin. I actually really like Physical Krillin, just as a unit. I think he's pretty cool. He's a stacker. He gets some stats on Super from his passive, and he's just a good unit all around. I mean, yeah, the first couple turns he's going to be a little bit weak, but he's on some weak teams because he's an Earthlings unit. We got Battle of Wits, Sand Saga, Bond of Friendship, Earthlings, full power, so definitely just a good unit with that. Pretty sure he's also the best Earthlings lead, so that alone, yeah, he's still the best Earthlings lead. This poor category, dude. Is this ever going to be good? I mean, Bulma, that was a great addition to it. I mean, these guys, Easy Aid, they were meh. A couple good free-to-play units here and there, but I don't know, man. Earthlings has definitely been disrespected. I know it's not... Well, of course, there's no sand units on there because it's Earthlings, so that's probably why they haven't really had that many releases on the category, but I don't know, man. I feel like we need some more Earthlings representation, but... Let me know how you're feeling about that down in the comments. Regardless, Krillin, the best Earthlings lead, so that definitely does give him some value. And as a stacker, as an AoE unit, he's got some use for like World Tournament and all that. So just for free-to-play players, people who pay money in the game, doesn't matter. This guy's useful. So I would absolutely say grind this guy up just because, again, he's got the AoE. So for World Tournament, he's going to be useful. He's a stacker, so for long content, he's going to be useful. And his kit, I mean, it's not insane, but, you know, he builds up a little. And overall is a pretty good unit. So I would say, you know, grind him up. It's worth the 777 medals. And then next up, we got Weelo. No. Yeah, no. I'm alright. I would say don't. Unless you've got like a thing for Weelo, which I know a lot of you probably do, because this is the only card we have of Weelo in the game. Then I guess I can understand grinding him up. But other than that, nah, man. You're good. They decided to go with the numbers buff, which not really a big fan of that. I think we all know that's what a lot of older units have, and there's a reason that those older units suck. It's because they don't have enough buffs in their kit, and they usually have these number buffs. Now, there's one redeeming factor in this guy's kit. He's got a medium chance to guard. Now, you might look at that and be like, okay, I mean, it's a 30% chance to guard. With the guard, his stats are going to be pretty decent, and he could be really good, but that's when you're facing 2 or more enemies. So only when you're facing 2 or more enemies, you have a 30% chance to be good defensively. No, sorry. Don't like this guy's kit. I'm just not a big fan of him overall. He's got Thirst for Conquest. Yeah, that's pretty much the only good link here. Scientist sucks. Prodigies is decent. Mechanical Menaces isn't really that good. Revival, I guess, is decent, but there's not many Thirst for Conquest units that's also going to have Revival. And then Shattering the Limit and Legendary Power are good, but... You know, those are just the basic links. So his link set is somewhat decent for free-to-play unit. Yes, he's on weak teams, but I'm still just not really a big fan of this guy. I would say he's not worth it, but, you know, I guess if you really like Weelo, again, I understand why you'd want to grind him up. Next, we got Tien. Very simple. Tien's decent. Decent. Like, not good, not worth grinding, but decent. Kind of the same level as Weelo. But he's going to be getting his Easy A sooner than later. Actually, I think he is the next Prime Battle Easy A. So, you know, I could understand why you'd want to grind him up, because his Easy A definitely has potential to be good. Just to speculate a little on that, you know, his super attack effect is probably going to go to 50% attack and defense. That's definitely a good super attack effect. I would assume a lot of these buffs would go to percent buffs, because that's what they did with the Boo and Bobbity, right? Yeah, because he had just number buffs beforehand, and then, okay, yeah, they made it percent buffs with his Easy A. So that's what they're going to do with this Tien. They're going to give him a bunch more percent buffs. I hope they're going to give him, you know, guard, damage reduction, dodge, whatever, that whole 9 yards, and then he's going to be really useful, but other than a few things here and there, we really can't predict that kind of stuff. So Tien, not worth grinding at the moment. However, once he gets his Easy A's, once he gets that Easy A, you know, you should check out his details and see how good he's looking, and then make a decision off that, right? And then next up, we got Trunks, not worth it. Next up, we got Vegeta, not worth it. We got Frieza, not worth it, but good link set, and probably a better spot on some of these teams than some of these other units, but still not worth it. But these are a lot of teams as well. If this guy gets a super Easy A, yeah, he's going to be very, very worth it. Just because a lot of weak teams, really good link set, and all that. But as it stands, no, not worth it. And then the first LR, unfortunately, no, he does suck. He not only sucks, he's fodder. That's pretty much the case with all of the 4 options I just mentioned. I'd say the only Prime Battle LRs that are worth it right now are Boo and Bobbity and then Krillin. I know it's crazy to say that, but like this guy, I mean, he's somewhat decent, but I just don't think he's going to be that great for difficult content because that's the standards I'm judging these units off of. Because if you want to run Infinite History all the time, most of these units you could bring in that event and be fine. But in actual difficult content, I'd say these 2 guys are going to be the only real heavy hitters that are actually going to make a positive impact on the fight. And even at that, they're still going to struggle. I mean, these guys aren't perfect. They're free-to-play units still, but compared to the others, they're better free-to-play units. But anyway, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see for the next Prime Battle LR. Me, personally, I think a nice little addition would be like a Cabba, because I don't think we've had any Dragon Ball Super representation in these Prime Battle LRs. Actually, yeah, I think it's only been Dragon Ball Z, right? I never noticed that until now. Yeah, it's all Dragon Ball Z units for these Prime Battle LRs. So if they want to, you know, go to Super, start expanding the kind of Prime Battle LRs that we could get, I think that'd be a good thing. But that's just my opinion. Again, let me know in the comments what Prime Battle LR you would want to see next. Has been the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you all in the next one.